Y'all we on now.
Alright, we ask that brothers uncover their heads, sisters cover their heads, let's face Jerusalem, and open up the Lord's Prayer.
Our Father which art in heaven.
Our Father which art in heaven.
Hallowed be thy name.
Hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done in earth.
Thy will be done on earth
as it is in heaven.
as it is in heaven.
Give us this day our daily bread.
Give us this day our daily
And
bread.
forgive us our debts.
And forgive us our debts.
As we forgive our debtors.
As we forgive our
And
debtors.
lead us not into temptation.
Lead us not into temptation.
But deliver us from evil.
But deliver us from evil.
For thine is the kingdom.
Thine is the kingdom.
And the power.
And the power.
And the glory.
And the glory.
Forever.
Forever.
In Jesus' name we pray.
In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen.
Amen.
Got a question?
Tony, you got a water?
Yeah.
Come on.
You need water?
Yeah, thank you.
Cause it's up, man. The water got back there. Anyways,
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
I had 4 bottles of cruise system.
You know, they was on sale for $2.99, so I said, let me get a case of them.
Alright. Q&A, question and answer, according to the Bible.
My phone.
Questions
Go.
in regards to
Yeah, I'm losing it.
the lesson, or questions that you may be dealing with throughout the week. Present the cause.
I got a question about Genesis 9, verses 5 and 6. Can you
Genesis
elaborate on that?
9, 5 and 6.
Okay.
Talked about it daily in the lesson, the main lesson. Talked about it daily in the lesson.
Alright. In Genesis 9.
Yeah, verses 5 and 6.
You said 5 and 6?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Alright, go ahead and read, brother.
And surely your blood of your lives will I require. At the hand of every beast will I require it. And at the hand of man, at the hand of every man's brother will I require the life of a man. Whoso sheddeth man's blood, by man shall his blood be shed. For in the image of God made he man.
Alright. So what's your question, brother?
I didn't understand in what context meant by that. And surely your blood of your lives will I require.
Okay. Okay. Let's go over the Kings real quick. First Kings, or it might be Second Kings. One second. Alright, let's go to Second Kings. Second Kings chapter 2. And let's pick it up at, because in Genesis chapter 9, and before we go to Second Kings, let's read a little more of Genesis chapter 9. Because I think in the lesson, where is one in the lesson? I think in the lesson, all I did was read 1 through 5. Alright, so let's let me see if this is it. Well, that's a covenant. Alright. Okay. So no, I'm just looking at something quick. Alright, so Genesis chapter 9 and verse 5. The question that's on the table is pertaining to verse 5, correct? And surely your blood of your lives will I require. At the hand of every beast will I require it. Cam?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Alright. So And what he's getting at right there is like now, you know, your life gonna be in the hand of a beast. What I mean by that is let's go over let's go 2 Kings chapter 2, and let's pick it up at verse 21. Because you know that's like how when animals attack. You know what I mean? That's what it's mean when it's saying that your life is gonna be required in the hands of a beast. Like, shoot, when you see animals attacking human beings, like, for the most case, some of them get away with it, but sometimes they get killed. You know, when you look at what, I think that's the 74 deadliest animals on Netflix. It talk about how, you know, animals go through neighborhoods and they be proud in the neighborhood, killing young kids, killing adults, or, you know, whatever the case may be. But, you know, now, your life is not just required by man, or hell is also now in the hands of the beast. Well, let's look at it. 2 Kings chapter 2, and we'll pick it up at verse 22. Go ahead, bro. Yeah.
So waters were healed unto this day, according to saying of Elisha which he spake.
Mm-hmm.
And when he went up from thence unto Bethel, and as he was going up by the way, there came forth little children out of the city, and mocked him, and said unto him, Go up, thou bald head, go up, thou bald head.
Now pay attention that what's going to take place with these children, you know, is what's actually going to take place. But what's going to happen with them, well, we're going to read it, and then I'll explain it afterwards. Verse 24, because you got the children mocking Elisha.
He turned back and looked on them, and cursed them in the name of the Lord.
So he cursed them in the name of the Lord, and what happened?
And there came forth 2 she-bears out of the wood, and tear 42 children of them.
So 42 children got killed by 2 she-bears. You know what I mean? But what took place was the animals, they did their course. You know, they killed, or they tore the children, they killed them. So that's what it's meaning when it's saying, like, you know, your life will I require at thy hand. Because even what we saw today, when we saw the man of God, you know what took place? You know, shoot, the lion came in his path and killed him, and the lion and the donkey were looking upon him. So it's kind of like now, let's go over into Isaiah real quick. Isaiah chapter 13. Because you got to realize, like, this wasn't always on the table. You know what I mean? It wasn't Isaiah 14, not 13. This wasn't always on the table. So now, through sin, because you got to realize, like, what? Eve is what put sin on the table, which is death. So now the consequence behind death is, you know, now everything is out of course. You know, because at first, like in the Garden of God, it was supposed to be like what we're going to look at in Isaiah chapter 14. So Isaiah chapter 14, because look at Adam. He was able to name these animals. You know what I mean? Like you got wild animals coming up to him, and he able to name them. Like seriously, a lion walking up to you, and you naming it lion. Or a tiger, you naming it tiger. These are wild animals that you're not going to get in the cage with them at the zoo. You're not going to do that. But at once upon a time, it was at a point where like, nah, it was peace. That's what we're going to look at in this Isaiah 14. So Isaiah chapter 14, and let's pick it up at verse, we'll just get right to it. Pick it up at verse, is this chapter? I think it is 13. Yeah, it is 13. So Isaiah 13. And let's pick it up at verse, hold on, let me get the cheat out. It is in Isaiah 13. But I need to know exactly where. Yeah, it's a cheat Bible because I got marked up real well. I got a whole bunch of notes and people who tune in on the camp. It's a cheat Bible because I done went through it and color coded it and it mean this and mean that. So Isaiah chapter 11, not 13. Yeah, I was talking about 13, 14. It's Isaiah chapter 11. And let's start at verse 1 and we'll skip down to where we get at. Go ahead.
And there shall come forth a rod out of the stem of Jesse, and a branch shall grow out of his roots.
Go ahead.
And the Spirit of the Lord shall rest upon him, the Spirit of wisdom and understanding, the Spirit of counsel and might, the Spirit of knowledge and of the fear of the Lord.
Now we talking about Jesus. This is what's going to rest upon him, the Spirit of understanding, wisdom, the Spirit of counsel and the might of knowledge, and the fear of the Lord. Go ahead.
And shall make him a quick understanding in the fear of the Lord. And he shall not judge after the sight of his eyes, neither prove after the hearing of his ears.
Verse 4.
But with righteousness shall he judge the poor, and reprove with equity for the meek of the earth. And he shall smite the earth with the rod of his mouth, and with breath of his lips shall he slay the wicked.
So we see is that now Jesus is back on this earth. You know what I mean? So Jesus is now on the earth, And we understand is that what rests upon him? The Spirit of the Lord, the Spirit of wisdom and understanding, the Spirit of knowledge, and the fear of the Lord. And guess what? He's not going to judge after his eyes or his own ears, but he's going to judge after righteousness, right? That's what's going on in the land. Skip down to verse 6 and read that.
The wolf also shall dwell with the lamb.
Go ahead.
And the leopard shall lie down with the kid, and the calf, and the young lion, and the fatling together, and the little child shall lead them.
So a little child is going to be able to lead a wolf. You know what I mean? Like a wolf is a carnivorous animal. But it's going to be a point where like what? The wolf is going to be able to dwell with the lamb because the wolf eats sheep. So now, you know, they're going to be at peace with each other inside of the 1,000-year reign of Jesus. They're going to be at peace with each other. You're going to have a leopard shall lie down with the kid. You know, that's a baby goat. Like, they're going to be able to lie down together because these are carnivores eating animals that they generally would eat. But at this time, like, that's going to be taken off the table. You know, because even in the midst of all of that, you're going to have a little kid. In the midst of a leopard and a wolf. But what's that in verse 7?
And the cow and the bear shall feed. The young ones shall lie down together, and the lion shall eat straw like the ox.
You see that? Now the lion. You know, because we saw in 1 Kings chapter 13 what the lion did to man. He killed them. You know what I mean? Like, he killed the man. The lion and the donkey watched the man after the lion killed him, right? So we see is that now, at this time, the lion is going to eat straw like the ox. That means he's no longer going to be after your throat if you in his territory. Or he ain't going to no longer be after, you know, a zebra or a gazelle or whatever they chase after. Like, that's not going to be the case anymore because he's going to be eating straw like the ox. What is it, verse 8?
And the suckling child shall play a hole over the ass, and the weaned child shall put his hand on the cockatrice den.
And these are poisonous snakes. But you got little babies. Because it said, what? A weaned child. So that means a baby that might be a little older than the twins. You know, they weaned off of the breast milk of their mom. That means they're going to be little playing with poisonous snakes. You know, somebody like Michael age, he just see a cobra and he can go over there and just rub it and pet it without him attacking him and killing him. Because what's in verse 9?
They shall not hurt nor destroy in all my holy mountains.
See, you got to realize, like, the Garden of God was supposed to be just like this. You know what I mean? Like when God walked amongst Adam, this is how it was. Because God told Adam to give all the animals names. You know, and they had to have some type of obedience to the point where, like, okay, shoot, he ain't dinner. You know what I mean? So I'm going to let him name me. You know what I mean? Because now, that's not the case. That all occurred after the conversation that took place with Eve. Now the earth is at great sin. God had to flood the earth. After he flooded the earth, now guess what? You can eat meat now. You know, now meat is at your dish because guess what? Every animal is going to be in your hand. However you kill it, clean animals, you can kill it now because I'm giving this into you. Not only can you kill them, but guess what? They can kill you as well. You know what I mean? And now, man and man will be killing each other. That's why I said, now man, that's why it said on Genesis 9 and 6, it say, whosoever shed man's blood, by man shall his blood be shed. So it's like in the bottom of that verse 5, it says, and at the hand of man, and at the hand of every man's brother will I require the life of man. So it's kind of like, now you got killing. You got Cain and Abel killing each other. You know what I mean? Like, they killing each other. Cain killed Abel. You know what I mean? Then you got other situations that occur in the Bible. But like even today in our time, you know what I mean? Like it's nothing but killing on it. It's nothing but carnage. That's what we're dealing with. But what we see right here in this Isaiah chapter 11, we see that in verse 9 it says, they shall not hurt nor destroy in my holy mountain, for the earth shall be full of the knowledge of the Lord as the waters cover the sea. So now everything is going to be at peace. Everything's going to be at how it once used to be. So, you know, animals are going to not want to kill one another, or they're not going to be wanting to kill us if we come into their territory. You know, so God is just letting us know is that now, shoot, our life is going to be at their hands. You know, we going to their backyard. If we going to a grizzly bear backyard, like, shoot, you got to rely, that's a blessing, but for the most part, grizzly bear don't kill you. So that's what I got on that. But that's what why he said, and surely your blood and your lives. That's why, yeah, he said, your blood and your eyes will I require. You know
That's a
what I
part
mean?
of it. That's all a part of curses.
That's what came along with
Yeah.
yeah, that's what came along with sin. That's what came along with, Eve, because, I mean, this occurred before Deuteronomy. But I mean hey, yeah, that's a curse. Because it wasn't supposed to be like that. Mm-hmm. You good on that, bro? That makes sense?
Yep.
Praise God. All right.
Because he put death on the table because of sin. So
Yeah.
death came with sin.
Yep. Yep. All right. Anybody? Cause I've been trying to hit Vince up, man. Like I'm 23.
Mm-hmm.
So if nobody got none, I'm gonna go on this whiteboard and look at this 23 days. So I'm gonna pull this over to the side.
Question.
We'll ask a question after I move all this over.
I know I want to see you move further than ask a question. Now you can go ahead.
All right, go ahead, ask your question. 'Cause what I was gonna do was I was gonna turn the cat corner and Judas can turn the camera that way so that brother Vince can see it too.
Well,
Nah, you ain't gotta do it now. We can do it after on the question.
most people think women pastors should be on the where you at.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to know what about this our women ministry.
Okay. All right. Hold on 1 second.
I'm really tempted. I just want to get it. And I was dealing with one who thinks she can prophesize in the name and with a head and go.
Okay. So when you before we go to Timothy, let's go to Titus. Because I mean, the woman, she does have a job. You know what I mean? But to stand up in this position right here, like, that's not her job. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But teaching, she's able to do that.
She's more evangelist type.
Mm-hmm. Or even say if, shoot, she want to get a group of sisters. And she just stand up and, they just dealing with the word. Like, I mean, that's just that. Is she trying to make a church behind that? That's the
She
issue.
gotta have a head.
That way, yeah, that's definitely the case. Like, that's definitely protocol. You know what I mean? But then sometimes, it be wise about how be wise about how we come off at. Cause like sometimes when sisters come to the church, even in Atlanta, and I've seen it, and I've witnessed it. Like, they might come in the first time, and immediately everybody want to attack. Hey, you gotta get your hair cut. I just like, man, just chill, just relax. You know what I mean? Because you don't know what the outcome may be. You know what I mean? Just let her be. Let her do what she gonna do. And eventually, it'll get to that. Before we go to Titus, let's go to Acts. Let's go to Acts and let's just look at an example along what I just said pertaining to, what the disciples was doing with the Gentiles. You know what I mean? Because let's go to Acts chapter 15. Because the Hebrews were saying, man, they got to be circumcised after the manner of Moses, this, and that, and the third. Well, even when you look at Acts chapter 16, like, Paul wasn't doing away with circumcision, physical. Because he had Timothy circumcised in Acts chapter 16 and verse 1. Like, he had him circumcised, so he wasn't doing away with that. He was just trying to be wise about how to bring the Gentiles into the Word of God. And if you hitting them with immediately, you got to be circumcised after the manner of Moses. It's going to be a tough pill to swallow. You know what I mean? Because, like, you look past salvation, you're looking straight to a carnal ordinance. It's an ordinance required now. You know what I mean? I'm not making it so little, but you looking past what's really at hand than what can be done and dealt with later on down the road. That's even with when sisters coming to the church now have their heads covered. Like, let them get the word. You know what I mean? Let them be convicted in the mind, and then eventually this will take place. Let's go over to Acts 15, and let's pick it up at verse 1.
And certain men which came down from Judea taught the brethren and said, except ye be circumcised after the mount of Moses, you cannot be saved.
So you know they coming at the Gentiles. They like, man, guess what? Y'all gotta be circumcised after the mount of Moses. If not, you can't be saved. What Paul said in verse 2.
When therefore Paul and Barnabas had no small dissension and disputation with them,
So it was a disagreement. You know, they had a small disagreement with this. Read though.
they determined that Paul and Barnabas and certain other of them should go up to Jerusalem to the apostles and the others about this question.
So the question needed to be brought to the elders. That's what they came at Barnabas and Paul about, pertaining to these Gentiles. In order for them to be saved, they got to be circumcised after the manner of Moses. Well, Paul didn't agree with that. You know what I mean? So now, they like, all right, well, let's take it to the elders, right? That's what they said. So skip down to verse 15 and read, 12 and read that.
Then all the multitude kept silence and gave audience to Barnabas and Paul, declaring what miracles and wonders God had wrought among the Gentiles by them.
Go ahead.
And after they had held their peace, James answered, saying, Men and brethren, hearken unto me. Seeing men have declared how God at the first did visit the Gentiles, to take out of them a people for his name.
Go ahead.
And to this agree the words of the prophets, as it is written. After this I will turn and will build again the tabernacle of David, which is fallen down, and I will build again the ruins thereof, and I will set it up.
Go ahead.
That residue of men might seek after the Lord and all the Gentiles, upon whom my name is called, said the Lord, who doeth all these things.
Verse 18.
Known unto God are all his works from the beginning of the world.
Keep going.
Wherefore my sentence is that we trouble not them which from among the Gentiles turn to God.
You see that? They turn to God. It's like, we ain't going to trouble them because guess what? They're trying to serve God. They're not be trying to serve God to the capacity that you trying to get them to serve. Meaning like, oh yeah, you know what? In order for you to be saved, you got to be circumcised at the Mount of Moses. You know what I mean? Because now you're trying to put a hard burden on their back. And that ties all the way until like, you know, the women when they come up in church and they ain't got their head covered, like, they're trying to serve God. They're trying to get some understanding. So let them get that understanding. You know what I mean? Because eventually, what verse 20 says?
But that we write unto them that they abstain from pollutions of idols, and from fornication, and from the things strangled, and from blood.
Go ahead.
For Moses of old time hath to every city that them that preach him, being read in the synagogue every Sabbath.
You see that? Like, we're going to get to it. It's going to get covered. Because guess what? Moses is read in the synagogue on every Sabbath. You know what I mean? So like when people come to church, it's kind of like, be wise about how you want to deal with them. And I ain't saying you, I'm just saying just period. You know what I mean? Because I've seen that happen. You know what I mean? Well, like, the sister come in, her head ain't covered. Oh, you need to cover your head up, this and that. And now she don't never come back no more because she didn't never come up barbecuing. They ask why she have her head covered. You know what I mean? And now it's kind of like, hey, who knows? You know what I mean? But at the same time, if just relax and chill, like, it'll get to that point. But even in this sister case, who on Facebook doing whatever she doing out of order, like, you just gotta be wise about how you maneuver to her, and because you gotta realize, you know, let's go to Proverbs real quick, and we're gonna get to Titus. You know
I
what I
told
mean?
her, I say, look, you're doing good, want to spread the word of God,
Right.
but you may want to take a look at Acts. I guess Acts 2 or something.
Proverbs chapter 11.
Corinthians. I told her to look at Corinthians. When you want for the cover the head when you prophesy, Lord.
Right.
Question.
Proverbs chapter 11, and let's pick it up at verse 29. Now y'all Facebook friends, or do y'all know each other outside of Facebook?
No, I just she'll be friends with somebody else, but she live on Facebook, and I can see her, so I'm like, you prophesy with your head uncovered, you try to bring the word, you don't want a book. You don't learn if you got your head, ain't covered. When you trying to, these people following you, and you ain't got your head covered, so I sent her the strip, you're doing good. She talking back, thank you. But like a couple days later, she doing the same thing.
Right.
I like looking, I can't even say.
And they ain't on you though.
No, because I gave her the strip.
Yeah, you already planted the seed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you already told her what's required.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Like, that old history book, he said something about some being wicked. I didn't even entertain that, man. So.
And then you gotta realize it may not always be for that individual, especially when it's on social media.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it ain't never always
About
for the one
right.
who you think
Mm.
you pinpoint this scripture towards. You know what I mean? It's whoever else that's watching. Because they might be looking at her, and now I'd be like, well, damn, he just posted the scripture, and she's still on contrary to the scripture. She might be a false prophet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So when you, because you gotta realize like the word of God ain't gonna go out void. You know what I mean? It's always gonna do what it's supposed to do.
Mhm.
So what you gotta realize is like, hey, you don't state your cause, and that be the end of it. You know what I mean? So we ain't even gotta read this Proverbs chapter 11 because you this understanding is that like everything ain't always for the direct. You know what I mean? The direct individual. Just understand that. But if you want to be, if you're trying to save souls, you definitely got to be wise about how you do that. You know what I mean? How to be crafty. Because it's like fishing. That's why Jesus said, "Hey, I teach you how to be fishing a man." Because you got to kind of be patient with people. You know what I mean? And that's a craft within itself. But let's go look at this Titus real quick. Because Proverbs 11 was just talking about those that win souls are wise. You know what I mean? And how you do that? You win souls about being crafty. Wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove. But in some cases though, like wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove doesn't always apply. Like if you're dealing with a sodomite, like how you gonna be wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove with him? Like nah, if you got the law on the tip of your tongue, you better let him know. Hey, look here, man. If you don't turn from that, Lord gonna kill you when He returns. You know what I mean? But I can't be wise about a sodomite. Like I'm just trying to put in my head. Like you flaming. You
already on fire.
You already did the whole crossover. So now I'm sitting here trying to be wise about how I'm winning you over. Like nah, you need to be rebuked in the name of Jesus. That's what He needs. So in most cases, man, like being wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove isn't always the solution. Even you casting your pearls before swine flesh, like that can come up because you don't always have to address somebody. You know what I mean? Like you don't always have to address people. You know what I mean? When you deal with the word, because like she did, you cast your pearls, and what she did, she turned around and stepped upon them. Meaning like she took it lightly. She took it for granted. You know what I mean? So you ain't always got cast your pearls. But look at this title pertaining to a woman's role and what a woman can do. So Titus chapter 2. Titus chapter 2. And let's pick it up at verse 1.
But speak thou the things which become sound doctrine, that the aged men be sober, grave, temperate, sound in faith, in charity, and patience. The aged women likewise, that they be in behavior as becometh holiness, not false accusers, not given to much wine, teachers of good things.
See, teachers of good things. They're going to be teaching, but they're going to be teaching. Verse 4.
That they may teach the young women to be sober, to love their husbands, to love their children.
So they're going to be teaching the young women how to love your husband, how to be sober, how to be temperate. You know what I mean? How to be a good woman at home. This is what you're going to teach the aged women, or the young women. The aged women, this is what they're supposed to be doing. Teaching, like, that's hell as a requirement. You know what I mean? But standing up over a congregation of people, like, nah, let's go over to Timothy real quick. Not Timothy. Let's go to First Peter chapter 3. First Peter chapter 3. First Peter chapter 3. And let's pick it up at verse 1.
Likewise, ye wives, be in subjection to your own husbands,
Go ahead.
that if any obey not the word, they also may without the word be won by the conversation of the wise.
So we're talking about the wives still, saying that, if you're not born, and if any obey not the word, they also may without the word be won, through the conversation. You know what I mean? It's like how a woman with her husband ain't dealing with the word, but through a conversation and how she conduct herself. Now she don't she don't want her husband over. Now he dealing with the word. Because at first he was all, whatever, going to church on Sundays, X, Y, and Z, contrary to God. But now, after watching the conduct and the behavior of his wife, seeing her keep the Sabbath, seeing her being chaste as a virgin, seeing her being virtuous. Now he like, dang, my wife, she really, to me, she really dealing with the word of God. Now, I want to change my ways and be like my wife. What it say in verse 2?
While they behold your chaste conversation coupled with fear. Whose adorning let it not be the outward adorning of plaiting the hair, or of wearing of gold, or of putting on of apparel.
Now it ain't nothing wrong with you plaiting the hair, wearing gold, but don't let that be your outward adorning. Meaning like, don't let oh man, she sure dressed nice, or she sure got some nice jewelry, but she loud. You know what I mean? She unruly, she disrespectful to her husband. That's what he getting at. Like, don't let that be, the outward adorning of men. But what it say in verse 4?
But let it be the hidden man of the heart, and that which is not corruptible, even the ornament of a meek and quiet spirit, which is in the sight of God of great price.
You said, which is with a meek and quiet spirit, which in the sight of God is a great price. This is how you want to be. But what is it in verse 5?
For after this manner, in the old time, the holy women also, who trusted in God, adorned themselves, being in subjection unto their own husbands.
So even in the older days, like they understood, hey, how we going to trust in God? We're going to be in subjection to our husband. Look at the example here, verse 6.
Even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord.
So even Sarah called Abraham Lord. Go ahead.
Whose daughters are ye? Whose daughters ye are, as long as ye do well and not afraid with any amazement.
So what we're just looking at, we says that, even a woman, not only being a teacher, she got to also be in subjection to her husband. You know what I mean? And I understand that this sister ain't your wife, but all he's talking about is you being some form of submissive or having some form of humility in you. You know what I mean? Not just to your husband, but just to, a man, period. Because like nowadays, many times we in, like, if you come in a sister, on a level of respect, according to the word of God, she gonna like act as if like you came at her all disrespectful and everything. Like you came at her grabbing at her body parts and as you was cursing. That's how she gonna come off at you for the most case. But nah, she's supposed to like have a meek and quiet spirit. Like her feedback when I had a situation on Facebook where a sister was out of line. I rebuked her with scriptures. Man, I ain't seen that sister on Facebook. I don't even be on it no more. But I was looking for her. I don't know if she unfriended me or whatever the case she did. Man, I ain't seen that sister on Facebook for quite some time. She didn't come back at me. She was dealing with the word. She didn't come back at me like trying to go toe for toe. Because she was wrong for what she was doing about an elder in the church. And I rebuked her. I was like, man, look here, according to the scripture, you ain't supposed to be, putting an elder to open shame on this social media. And I hit her with some scriptures. And she took it as a woman that's supposed to be God-fearing, supposed to take it. So like even with her, you know what I mean? Like she was supposed to take that advice and be like, shoot, we right. Let me regroup. You know what I mean? Let me don't just come back tomorrow because now I'm admittedly letting them know whatever he just hit me with, I don't care about it. That's what she doing. So let's go. That's why we was looking at that Peter. Let's go look at this 1 Timothy now. Because we know that a woman ain't supposed to, usurp authority over a man.
My first Sunday festival was up there doing that. So when I got in the word, she stood around the corner from me. And hollered at her. I started here with the scripture. She said, God don't mind you. And I said, no. I ain't had that go. It don't make sense y'all to be in the book this long when y'all still don't know the word.
Yeah, because we look at the priesthood, like none of the priests of Levi was men. None of them. They was dealing with the business of God. None of them was women. It was all men. When you look at the men that God sent out to deal with the war, it was all men. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, it's nothing wrong with a woman teaching the young women at the house. You know what I mean? But like, you standing up in this position is out of line. It really is. And that's why, you look at a lot of these churches, why they are the way they are today. You know what I mean? It's because like they out of order. You got a lot of women preachers leading these churches. That's completely out of line. You know, God told Eve is that your husband gonna rule over you. You know what I mean? Your eyes gonna desire him, he's gonna rule over you. You know, scripture say Eve deceived not Adam. You know what I mean? So behind that, like, nah, you're not gonna be over a man. Let's look at this 1 Timothy chapter 2. Let's pick up at verse 9.
In like manner also, that women adorn themselves in modest apparel, with shamefacedness and sobriety, not with broided hair, or gold, or pearls, or costly array.
So in other words, like, you know, she gonna be modest. You know what I mean? That's how the woman is to carry herself, in a modest apparel. Because it ain't nothing wrong with, you know, broided hair or gold or pearls or costly array. It's just that you need to keep yourself modest. You know, because Paul ain't gonna contradict himself. Like we just saw in Peter, like he was saying, like, don't let the plague of your hair be the outward adornment. You know what I mean? But the inward man of the heart. So he ain't get over here saying, well, nah, you know what? Nah, you can't have no gold or no broidered hair. Nah, he just, you know, is that you need to be modest. That's what he getting at. But what is in verse 10 though?
But which becometh woman, but which cometh women professing godliness with good
You
works.
see that? He even cleared up, letting you know, but nah, this is what you need to become. A woman professing godliness with good works. Verse 11.
Let the woman learn in silence with all
You
subjection.
see that? That's why we went and saw that 1 Peter chapter 3 is because what? The woman is supposed to be in subjection to her husband. Guess what? If you ain't got no husband, then you're in subjection to Christ. Now, the order is still the same because guess what? A man is ruling over you, so you still supposed to hold fast your integrity, right?
Right.
Keep reading though.
But I suffer not a woman to teach, not to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence.
You see that? You are not supposed to set up a church and you be the head preacher. Nah. That's out of order. Now, if you set up the church and your husband the head preacher, then hey, it ain't nothing wrong with it. You know what I mean? Like, you got church, you know what I mean? And, you know, your husband is actually over the church preaching and dealing with the word. You know, it ain't nothing wrong with that. Because we see is that it says, but I suffer a woman not. But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence. Verse 13.
For Adam was first formed, then Eve.
So Eve was taken from the rib of a man. God didn't, you know, take Eve and took her in the dirt, breathed into her life, breath of life, and she became a living soul. No, that only occurred with Adam. So that's why I said what? Well, Adam was first formed, then Eve, verse 14.
And Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in the transgression.
This is why the order is the way it is because Adam wasn't deceived, the woman was. This is when, you know, she was in the transgression, right? Let's go over here to back to Titus. Titus.
Oh.
Titus chapter 3.
Well, it sounds like you want to drive back and get all the rest of it.
Titus chapter 3. Titus chapter 3. Let's pick it up at not bad, Titus chapter 2. Titus chapter 2. Let's pick it up at I thought it was right here.
You went to it first. You went to it.
Stop it, chapter. I mean, verse 5.
Yeah. Hold on, what's that? Hold on.
Hold on, brother. Things are gonna change. Be strong, my sister, for the work is not done now. Just keep believing.
My bad.
Oh,
Just over there. I meant to say First Peter. We ain't read the whole thing. First Peter chapter. Let's go back to First Peter chapter 3. First Peter. First Peter chapter 3.
Stop at 6.
Yeah, so now let's go to verse 7. Just skip down 7 and read that.
Likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge.
So, you know, we dwelling with our wives according to knowledge. You know what I mean? If the wives ain't married, then they still dwelling in the word of God with knowledge, right? Keep going.
Giving honor unto unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel.
So she's the weaker vessel. This is why she was deceived, not Adam. You know what I mean? This is why, for you to stand up over a congregation of people, you're the weaker vessel. You could be deceived.
Mm-hmm.
You're already deceived thinking that it's okay for you to stand over a congregation of people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, now, you can deceive. Somebody can come at you sideways because that ain't your position. You know what I mean? Your position is to stand behind your husband. And then if you ain't married, you need to get a man over that situation. He'd be dealing with that church instead of you. You know what I mean? But we see that what it says, give honor to the wife as unto the weaker vessel. And as being heirs together, waste life that your prayers not hinder. So, according to, 1 Corinthians chapter 11, the order is, you're supposed to have your head covered. Because guess what? If your head ain't covered, you ain't dealing with the word. You know what I mean? The reason why is because, the head covering shows, let's go over here to it real quick. 1 Corinthians chapter 11. The head cover shows those that are locked in the chains of darkness that you in subjection to some type of order. Mm. That's what the head cover represents. You know what I mean? So now you got this power on your head. It's power because of these angels. You know what I mean? That's why the head covering is a requirement for the woman. All right? So let's read 1 Corinthians 11 and verse 1, and we're going to just skip. We ain't going to read through the whole thing. We're just going to look at the order, and then we're going to skip. So 1 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 1. Go ahead, bro.
Be ye followers of me, even as I also am of Christ. Now I pray you, brethren, that you remember me in all things, and keep the ordinances as I delivered them unto you.
Go ahead.
But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Christ is God.
Go ahead.
Every man praying or prophesying, having his head covered, dishonoreth his head.
So even the man, if I got my head covered and I'm up here preaching the word of God, I'm dishonoring God. I'm out of order because I'm dishonoring Christ, who's my head. But what it say in verse 5?
But every woman that prayeth or prophesieth with her head uncovered dishonoreth her head. For that is even all one as if she were shaven.
So it's like you shaving. That's how you dishonoring your head, but we know you ain't gonna shave your head. So in other words, cover your hair. Or cover your head up. Because now when you praying and prophesying with your head uncovered, you're not honoring your husband. Well, if you ain't married, you're still not honoring a man, which is Christ. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like you can't get away from the order. Like you still sit up under a man regardless of what the circumstance may be. And guess what? You got to keep your head covered. All right? Skip down to verse 8 and read that.
For man is not of the woman, but the woman of the man.
You see that? God is clearly letting you know that, guess what? This woman, I didn't take her from dirt and breathe to her life, the breath of life. No, I took this man, but I took this woman up out of this man. So that's why I'm saying for the man, it's not the woman, but the woman of the man. Verse 9.
Neither was the man created for the woman, but the woman for the man.
You see how the order's going? Like the sister, she got to stay within the order. You know what I mean? Like the order is the man is set over the woman. But let's look at verse 10 to understand why this head covering is on your head and what it represents. Verse 10.
For this cause ought the woman to have power on her head because of the angel.
So that's why I say, man, you ain't dealing with the word. You know what I mean? Because without that power on your head, man, you up under Satan's head covering. You know, that's who you dealing with because, like, what? That power on your head shows these angels that, hey, man, you know what? She got some type of order about her. She been reading a little bit of book. You know what I mean? How else would she know about the head covering? I'm going to try with this or I'm going to try with that. You know, the spirit by the spirit. You know what I mean? Like, time for trial. She don't pass the test. She dealing with the Lord. You know what I mean? But when you from up under that head covering, man, you ain't dealing with no kind of order. None whatsoever. So, you know, man, in most cases, man, sometimes you got to have spiritual discernment. You got to understand, like, when to cast the word or when not. You know what I mean? Like, you can watch a person's actions and you could tell, all right, they might be willing to listen. You know what I mean? But, again, through the actions and the conduct, they might not want to listen. So, you know what I ain't going to do? I ain't going to waste the precious word. Because if they want it, you know, hey, they'll show it. But for the most part, you know, man, you just gotta know how to discern it. You know what I mean? That's the situation that was taking place with last Sabbath. You know what I mean? Somebody, I think, missed out on discerning that the sister probably was wanting to know something about word. and he kind of like let it fly out. But I mean, you know, that's how I do. But yeah, man, you ain't gotta always. You know what I mean? Because people, man, they gonna be who they are because they ain't dealing with the word, man. Right. They gonna be exactly who they are. Ministers saying. That's that. Peace. So, wake up, Judas. Hey, I'm up, man. Shit. You got a question?
Nah.
All right, let's deal with this 100 days, man. What that purple marker probably right now. All right, so the last time I was here, you can turn the camera on. Yeah. The last time I was here, you know, the question came up about the 2,300 days, right? And
It ain't gonna shoot that good. I don't know. It ain't made for that kind of board.
they said they ain't got no markers at the front. They gotta have them.
They ain't got presume they got a marker.
Them your markers too, Brother Vince?
Well, yeah, they're the same thing as that one.
Okay.
They ain't gonna make no difference. Well, basically just highlighter, that's all.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna start in that child age.
Mm-hmm.
I feel it in the air. I feel it going to sleep at 3:45 in the morning in the air.
I know that's right.
Why? I don't know why. All that stuff be like when the Sabbath come in,
Mm-hmm.
be like how I used to be when I was playing ball. We have to go out of town.
Right.
I didn't like flying really. You know, I was doing it quite often, but I stay up all night before, just so I could fall asleep on a plane ride.
Right.
You know what I mean? The same with the Jacksonville drive. I stay up, but it be the Sabbath. You know what I mean? But boom, I be like, shoot, like that.
When y'all gonna set up? I don't know. I mean, how y'all gonna like for this location here? Like instead of y'all traveling so much, being, you know, I guess that's what tear on your body too, eventually.
Well, it ain't
When
that.
y'all gonna set up like a,
Send somebody make a move this way.
oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Somebody, or one of y'all. One of y'all start standing up and
So how do you go about as far as getting a teacher role, you know, that aspect? How do y'all a protocol, how y'all do that?
it's in the Bible too.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. It's in the Bible at what age?
Okay, 30 ain't no, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, far as,
Nah, I think it's like 50 or something.
oh, that's if you, what ministry is, you can't be able to be a priest until you're 30 and old.
Yeah, but the
Yeah,
cut off
but
to
they cut off
the
50,
try,
50.
cut off the
Yeah,
trying, go
50.
to it.
Yeah, 50.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, so that's
That's my part is, say if I want to teach, how do I go by? You know, how do y'all got that? You know, you got to be here a certain amount of time, or do you have to,
nah,
you know,
nah.
stuff like that?
Depending on what y'all according to the word.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there's more to it than just that.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? But
I was wondering about that. How do y'all go by? You know, if you want to teach or something, what are y'all, how do you go about doing that?
I'm pretty sure there's more to it. But
Yeah,
how old are you?
I'm 55.
See, I don't know. I ain't even gonna. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's just something that I hit a lot, but a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just see what he got to say.
Cause that's something I am interested in, you know,
Right,
doing.
right. So, 2,300 days. Oh. There you go. All right. What we do is we're gonna see that,
Can't see
and
that.
Daniel.
For some reason, can't see that one.
Probably because
It's so light, man. See? Still.
There we go.
About discounting all joy message you guys shared today. It was so awesome. I'm telling you.
Yes, sir. What I'm talking
So
about.
awesome that I had just joy in my spirit. I was just counting out joy. I was counting everything that I had. I was just thinking about.
Mm-hmm. What is doing, sir?
You can see it.
Man, that's what shows something. That's
I don't know how to make the brightness
Church
go with
inside
this thing
something.
on break.
I know.
Too bright? Hit one of them lights.
You might do the light, man. Yeah.
Do all of them turn when you turn on? Turn it off.
She did make her friend. Though.
You turn that one off? This one up here? Oh, it's my.
Oh, okay.
That might be a little bit lighter.
I think that might be a little better. You see it?
It still got a little glare in it. Where that glare coming
I
from?
look what I like over
The
there.
lights over here. So.
Alright, let's do this. I think that hurt
It might be a
too.
little bit better. Wait. Oh, I got the delay on it.
Yeah, it's up. I see it. How about turn this one on? Well, let me
That
turn
was
this one off. Over there. It's a glare from back there.
That one going on.
Hey, turn out one to go back there.
Black marker on whiteboard.
Hmm?
Black mark on whiteboard.
Yeah, that's it right there. That's perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's perfect for your viewers.
Yeah. I'm looking at it right here.
Oh, yeah. A
Yeah.
little bit better.
Yeah. Alright. Alright, so alright, so what we're looking at Daniel chapter 8, right? And we get 2,300 days, we get the 2,300 days from Daniel chapter 8. So when we get to Daniel chapter 8, let's read verse 14. You know what, start at 13 and read 14.
Then I heard one saint speaking, and another saint said, unto that certain saint which spake, how long shall be the vision concerning the daily sacrifice, and the transgression of desolation, to give both the sanctuary and the host to be trodden underfoot?
So just a few questions on the table. You know, how long shall the vision concerning the daily sacrifice and the transgression of desolation to be given to give both the sanctuary and the host to be trodden underfoot, right? So we talking about the abomination of desolation. That's the transgression of desolation. And we're looking at how long will the sacrifice and the transgression of desolation abomination to be given sanctuary and the host to be trodden underfoot. So that's a few questions being asked in verse 14. I mean 13. But what 14 say?
And he said unto me, unto 2,300 days, then shall the sanctuary be cleansed.
So then shall the sanctuary be cleansed, right? So the first thing we're going to deal with, because we already got it up there, but you know, we're going to put it in timeline order, all right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're looking at 2,300 days, right? That's what we got.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the timeline.
You probably want to sit down. You'll read.
Yeah.
You'll sit on.
Yeah, I'm just on the record.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
You know what? You can come right there, because you ain't been, it ain't like the camera see.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So you can sit right there.
Or sit over there where you can see where you can sit in first.
Yeah, right on. That's even better.
But just make sure they can hear you in the camera.
Yes, sir. Gotcha.
Alright, so we got so we got 2,300 days is to what we gonna start with. Because that's what we saw in Daniel chapter 8 and verse 14.
Mm-hmm.
And the Lord said it's going to be 2300 days, then shall the sanctuary be cleansed. So the sanctuary is going to be cleansed when Jesus returns. You know what I mean? That's when the sanctuary is going to be cleansed, right? But the question was asked pertaining to the daily sacrifice, the transgression of desolation, and to give both the sanctuary of the host to be trodden foot. So now let's go here to, let's get some more numbers on the board. Let's go here to Daniel chapter 12 now. Daniel chapter 12. And let's pick it up at verse 8. Daniel chapter 12 and verse 8. When you get it, go ahead and read it, bro.
And I heard, but I understood not. Then said I, O my Lord, what shall be the end of these things? And he said, Go thy way, Daniel, for the words are closed up and sealed to the time of the end.
So he said, Daniel, go thy way. Because Daniel want to know what's the signs of the times of the end. The Lord said, go thy way, Daniel. For the words are closed and sealed up till the time of the end. All right, go ahead.
Many shall be purified and made white,
Go ahead.
and tried.
Keep reading.
But the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand, but the wise shall understand.
So we see that in verse 10, it says, many shall be purified and made white. You know what I mean? Like, they're going to be made white because what? They're going to come up under the blood of the Lamb. You know, they're gonna stand in life until death. And what's that said is, hold your finger right here. Let's go over here to Revelation chapter 12. Revelation chapter 12, and let's look at it. Because Jesus said something in the gospel as well. We could have looked at that, but I want to look at this Revelation chapter 12. Revelation chapter 12, let's pick it up at verse 10. Revelation chapter 12 and verse 10, when you get it, go ahead and read, bro.
And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, Now is come salvation and strength, and the kingdom of our God, and the power of his Christ. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our God day and night.
So we see is that now Satan is cast down to the earth, and it says what? Now salvation has come because what? The accuser of our brethren has been cast down to the earth. Who he go before God accusing us day and night, right? What verse 11 say?
And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb.
They overcame who? The devil. They overcame the devil by the blood of the Lamb. Keep going.
And by the word of their testimony.
Go ahead.
And they loved not their lives unto the death.
You see that? They love not their lives into the death. So this is how many are going to be made white. You know what I mean? Other things going to take place well. Like right now we being made white. You know what I mean? If we keep this charge all the way into the end. But we see right here is that, some overcame the devil by the blood of the Lamb. They also didn't love their lives unto death. Right? Now let's go back to Daniel chapter 12. Daniel chapter 12. And now let's pick it up at verse 11.
And from the time that the daily sacrifice shall be taken away, and the abomination that maketh desolate set up, there shall be 1,290 days.
So we got another number on the board. We got 1290 because in Daniel chapter 8 and verse 14, questions was asked. Questions was asked about the daily sacrifice. Question was asked about the transgression of desolation, when he going to be placed. And the other question was when he going to be placed in the sanctuary. All right, so now we see the second number. The second number is 1,290 days. Is when it said what? It said 1290. It says, and from the time that the daily sacrifice shall be taken away. So 1290 is daily sacrifice stop. At 1290. All right. So now, let's go over here to Revelation chapter 13. Revelation chapter 13. Revelation chapter 11. Let's look at the sanctuary. Revelation chapter 11. And let's get some more numbers up here on the board. Revelation chapter 11. Let's pick it up at verse 1.
And there was given me a reed like unto a rod. And the angel stood, saying, Rise, and measure the temple of God, and the altar, and them that worship therein.
So the Lord said, rise and measure the temple. But what he said, leave out. Go ahead.
But the court which is without the temple leave out,
Go ahead.
and measure it not, for it is given unto the Gentiles.
So the court leave without. This is the location that's going to be given unto the Gentiles. But guess what? The ones that call themselves Israel, that's where they're going to set up their temple at. This is the location that the Lord said, don't even measure it, leave out, because that's the location where the fake Jews going to build a temple, and that's the location where the abomination of desolation is placed. You know what I mean? That's why it says the Gentile, because the abomination of desolation is a Gentile. You know what I mean? So when he come into that land, he's going to take over. He's going to get the fake Jews up out of here and let them know, is that, like, look here, I'm here, peace, peace, peace. I'm finna stop the daily sacrifice. That's what it's saying. So that's why it says, but the court which is without the temple, leave out and measure it not, for it is given unto the Gentiles. What else?
And the holy city shall they tread underfoot 42 months.
And we just saw that in Daniel chapter 8. You know what I mean? It's that he said that what? The holy city will be trodden under their foot. What we see right here in Revelation chapter 11 is that what? The holy city shall be treaded underfoot 42 months. What are those 42 months? What verse 3 say?
And I will give power unto my 2 witnesses, and they shall prophesy 1,260 days, clothed in sackcloth.
So 42 months, 1,260 days, 3.5 years, the times and divided the times, that's all 1,260 days. That is your tribulation period. So now the question along the lines within that Daniel chapter 8 and verse 14. So now I'm going to place another number. 1260. This represents great tribulation. All right. So now we see is that even in that Daniel chapter 8, we saw is that what? It's going to be a time where the transgression of desolation is going to be placed, right? That's what we just was reading in this Revelation chapter 11. Let's go over here to Daniel chapter 11 now. We better get all these numbers and now they're going to start to make sense. All right, so let's pick it up at Daniel chapter 11, and let's pick it up at verse 31. When you get it, go ahead and read it, bro.
And arms shall stand on his part,
Go ahead.
and they shall pollute the sanctuary of strength, and shall take away the daily sacrifice.
So he's going to take away the daily sacrifice. He's dealing with Daniel chapter 8 and 14. He's saying what? He's going to be placed. It says because the arms shall stand on his part. The arms are standing on his part, meaning like the 10 nations, that's the 10 armies. That's the armies that represent this religious leader, which is the Pope of Rome. So they're going to be standing in the land on his part. And then it says, and they shall pollute the sanctuary of strength. And what else they going to do?
And they shall place the abomination that maketh desolate.
So they're going to place the abomination that make it desolate. But guess what? When he's standing there, it says, daily sacrifice shall stop. So how long is he going to be sacrificing until the coming of the Lord? Or how long is he going to be sacrificing until we get to this 1290? We're going to be sacrificing for 1,110 days. 1,110 days. Days of sacrifice. Well, how did you get that? Because what we did was we took the 1290, subtract from 2300, and that's how you get 1,010 days. Because the question is asked, like, they're going to be sacrificing for 1,010 days. Once 1,010 days count down to 1290, then that's when the abomination that make it desolate going to come in and stop. So now he's going to stop the daily sacrifice at 1290. So they're going to be sacrificing a lamb in the morning and a lamb in the evening. Right? So now, once they hit 1290, count down from 2300. So now you got 2,300, 2299, 2298, 2297. Once it gets all the way down to 1,010 days, that's gonna be, or that's gonna get to your 1290. Because 1290 from 2,300 is 1,010. So that's just how many days he's gonna be sacrificing. So he's gonna count all the way down to 1290, and then he gonna replace. It says in verse 31, it says, and they shall make the abomination that make desolate. They gonna place them. What is it in verse 32 though?
And such as do wickedly against the covenant shall he corrupt by flattery.
Go ahead.
But people that do know their God shall be strong and do exploits.
So they gonna know their God. They gonna do exploits, right? That's why, you know, what we gonna read, he gonna have some of them killed. What's in 33?
And they that understand among the people shall instruct many, yet they shall fall by the sword.
See, they gonna fall out of sword because what they gonna be doing? They gonna be instructing many. They gonna be letting them know is that, nah, man, he lying. Like, that's a false prophet. That's what Daniel was talking about. Now it's to come to pass. And now we see it before our eyes, so don't be deceived. But the ones that gonna be saying all of that, he gonna kill them with the sword, and by flame, and by captivity, and by spoil many days. Verse 34.
Now when they shall fall, they shall be hoping with a little help, but many shall cleave to them with flatteries.
Go ahead.
And some of them of understanding shall fall, to try them and to purge, and to make them white, even to the time of the end, because it is yet for a time appointed.
So now what we saw in verse 31, right? We saw verse 31, it says, and arm shall stand in his part, and they shall pollute the sanctuary strength, and shall take away the daily sacrifice. Well, guess what? When all of this has occurred as to what we've been reading in verse 32 and verse 33, that's the tribulation. That's all going on with the side of the tribulation. Mm-hmm. So we do know from 1290 to 1260, it's going to be 30 days. Mm-hmm. All right? So 30 days, and this is the window to flee.
Okay.
So you can flee before that. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, you can flee at what? Shoot. You can flee at 12 doggone. You flee at 1,300. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, you ain't gotta let it. You can flee at 1335. Just know that if you flee a little too early, understand. Let's go over here to Joel chapter 2. When you fleeing, or when you want to find a location over there, just know that you better be out of this right here. You better be out of the way of this. Joel chapter 2, because if you flee and go over there to Jerusalem, like, that's where you fleeing to anyway. But if you get caught up in that area, there you go. Read that Joel chapter 2 and verse 1. Go ahead, bro.
Blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain.
Go ahead.
Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand.
Keep going.
A day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and strong, have not been ever the like.
Go ahead.
Neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations.
Keep on.
A fire devours before them, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is as the garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness.
So we see is that destruction is on the table. We see that the trumpet hasn't blown, but it says a fire devour before them and behind them. It says what Garden of Eden is as destruction. What is it in verse 4?
The appearance of them is as the appearance of horses,
Go
and
ahead.
as horsemen, so shall they run.
Go ahead.
Like the noise of chariots on the tops of the mountains shall they leap. Like the noise of a flame of fire devoureth the stubble, as strong people set in battle array.
Go ahead.
Before their face, the people shall be much pained. All faces shall gather blackness.
Keep reading.
They shall run like mighty men. They shall climb the wall like men of war.
So they gonna climb the wall like men of war. We talking about that 200 man army that the Lord gonna have. That's gonna go and sack Jerusalem. You know what I mean? So if you go there too early, you're gonna get caught in the midst of all that. Because it says they shall run like mighty men. They shall climb the wall like men of war. What else?
And they shall march everyone on his ways, and they shall not break their rank.
They ain't gonna break their ranks, because if you kill 2,000 of them, that ain't nothing. You know what I mean? That's the 200 million man army. So 2,000 ain't gonna still be broke.
Drop in the bucket.
You know, exactly. You know what I mean? So now let's go over here to this let's go over here to Zechariah 14. Let's look at the same thing. What we looking at, we just showing you that, hey, it ain't nothing wrong with you leaving early. You ain't gotta wait till 30 days, because 30 days is gonna be crunch time. You know what I mean? Like 30 days is gonna be real tight. You know what I mean? Because you trying to run for your life. So you can always flee before that point. You can always flee before that point. So let's go look at Zechariah real quick. Zechariah 14. Because even in Zechariah, like the Lord is going to talk about this same army. Going to talk about how this army, you know, is going to shoot up the houses. We don't need it. Zechariah 14, and let's pick it up at verse 1. Go ahead.
Behold, the day of the Lord cometh, and thy spoil shall be divided in the midst of thee.
Go ahead.
For I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle, and the city shall be taken.
You see that? The Lord said, I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle. You know what I mean? Because the Lord said to gather all nations against Jerusalem. Because why? The man of sin went into that land. So now he calling himself God, because he got his armies in there, according to Daniel chapter 11, verse 31. He got his armies in there. So now the Lord said to gather all nations to go and battle against Jerusalem. Keep reading.
And the women, excuse me, and the city shall be taken, and the houses rifled, and the women ravished, and half of the city shall go forth in captivity, and the residue of the people shall not be cut off from the city.
So we see that now. What it says, the women gonna be ravished, and the house is gonna be right. That means the house gonna be shot up. The women gonna be raped. Like all that's gonna be going about, because you got an army that's 200 million people. Like they finna sack Jerusalem, and everything that's in that area, man, women finna get raped, men finna get shot up, and it says what? And half the city shall go forth into captivity. Go ahead.
Then shall the Lord go forth and fight against those nations, as when he fought in the day of battle.
So the Lord now, he gonna go forth in battle. But what we was just looking at how that if you do flee early, it's fine. Just don't get caught up in Jerusalem. Because if you get caught up in Jerusalem around this time, you're going to be victimized. You're going to be an innocent bystander. But guess what? You can't be innocent if you got understanding on the word of God. So it's nothing wrong with you fleeing a little bit early. But we do know is that this the window to flee. So from 1290 to 1260, we got 30 days. Let's go over here to Matthew 24. Matthew chapter 24. We got 30 days. All right. So now let's pick it up at Matthew chapter 24. And let's pick it up at verse 1.
And Jesus went out and departed from the temple, and the disciples came to him for to shew him the buildings of the temple.
Go ahead.
And Jesus said unto them, See not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down.
Keep going.
And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came to him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and the end of the world?
You see that? So it's kind of almost like the same question that was asked in Daniel chapter 8 and verse 14. You know what I mean? Or verse 13. It's almost the same. Almost, when I say almost, it's almost worded the same. But you know what I mean? Like, it's not worded the exact same.
No.
You know what I mean? But the questions are almost the same, because they said what? Tell us, when shall these things be? Because Jesus said what? And as he had sat up on Mount Olives, the disciples came unto him probably saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? What things? Pertaining to the temple. That already occurred. So that's why I say, like, word the same, but meaning-wise they not, because Jerusalem already sacked at this point, 70 AD. You know what I mean? So now everything else has not came to pass.
Right.
And that is the sign of thy coming in the end of the world.
Right.
Alright, go ahead, keep reading verse 4. Go ahead and read that.
And Jesus answered and said to them, Take heed that no man deceive you.
Go ahead.
For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many.
So many gonna come in the name of Jesus. You know what I mean? They're gonna come in his name, and they're gonna be coming as if they are Jesus. You know what I mean? You got what? You got Yahweh telling people that he was the Messiah. You got a lot of people calling themselves Messiah. But they lying, they deceiving. And then you got some church that's coming in the name of Jesus. You know what I mean? Talking about, I am here on the behalf of Jesus. But Jesus letting you know is that take heed that no man deceive you. Verse 6.
And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet.
Skip down to verse 11 and read that.
And many false prophets shall rise and shall deceive many. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold.
So the love of many is going to wax cold because sin is so great in the land. Go ahead, verse 14. I'm sorry, verse 13.
But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved.
So the one that keep this word all the way to the end, that's the one who's going to be saved. I'm not saved yet. Brother Vince not saved yet. If we endure this thing all the way to the end, then that's when we're going to be saved. But what's in verse 14 though?
And the gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come.
So then is the end going to come because everybody going to get their fair chance at serve God. Everybody going to hear about the gospel of Christ. No, he wasn't born December 25th. No, he wasn't. He didn't die on Good Friday and he resurrected on Easter Sunday morning. Everybody going to get their fair shot at hearing the truth. But guess what? That's what's going to bring all of this to the end. That's why we finna go immediately into the Great Tribulation. Verse 15, go ahead.
When ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation, spoken of by Daniel the prophet, stand in the holy place, whoso readeth, let him understand.
So whoso readeth, let him understand. That's what we just got finished reading. We just got finished reading that in Daniel chapter 8. We just got finished reading in Daniel chapter 11 and verse 12. So Jesus is referring us back to Daniel chapter, the book of Daniel. Saying what? And ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation, spoken of by Daniel the prophet, stand in the holy place, whoso read, let him understand. Verse 16.
Then let them which be in Judea flee into the mountains.
Go ahead.
Let him which is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of his house.
Keep on.
Neither let him which is in the field return back to take his gold.
So you see what he said in verse 16? It says, then let them which be in Judea flee into the mountains. I mean, man, you better get up out of Jerusalem. You better get up out of there. You better flee into the mountains because guess what? The abomination that make it desolate, he better be set up.
Right.
And he better whoop down this whole earth. So that's why it says what? Let him which is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of the house. Neither let him which is in the field return back to take clothes. Verse 19.
And woe unto them that are with child, and to them that gave suck in those days.
So even women that are breastfeeding, you know, even the women that are carrying babies, it's going to be woe unto you because you running for your life. Go ahead, verse 20.
But pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day.
So pray that you getting out of Dodge. That's what it means when it says pray that your flight. Meaning like you trying to get out of town ASAP. Pray that's not in the winter. You know what I mean? Neither on the Sabbath day. Go ahead, verse 21.
But there shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be.
So now we back at 1260. Because we saw in Revelation chapter 11, we saw that the Lord said, measure without the temple, leave that for the Gentiles, because he going to let them trod up underfoot 3.5 years. Or in that, he said 42 months. And then he also said 1,260 days.
Right.
So he says that he going to be running the earth for 1,260 days. But guess what? From when he going to start, he going to be placed and stop the daily sacrifice at 1290. Once he's in Jerusalem at 1290, the daily sacrifice is gonna stop because this is what's gonna start the countdown. The first day they sacrifice a lamb in the morning and a lamb in the evening. This is gonna start this clock ticking.
Right.
You know what I mean? So now the clock is ticking. Now at 1290 he gonna come into land and stop it. Then at 1260 is when he ruling the whole world. But guess what? You got 30 days to flee to the wilderness, to hide out from all of this. So now from 1260, it's gonna count all the way down to 0. Now we're going to, this is the 6th seal. Now we're going to go into the 7th seal, which is introduced with the trumpet. I'm sorry, not introduced with the trumpet. The 7th seal, let's go and read that.
Right.
Let's go over to Revelation. Because what we saw in this Matthew 24, we saw that now, when the abomination of desolation is placed, great tribulation is going to be on the earth. So now let's go over here to Revelation. Revelation chapter 6. And let's pick it up at verse 11.
And white robes were put unto every one of them, and it was said unto them that they should rest for a little season, until their fellow servants also and their brethren that should be killed as they were should be fulfilled.
So you got to realize this got to be fulfilled.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, people got to die for the word of God. That's what we saw in that Revelation chapter 12. Is that what? They die for the word of God. You know what I mean? Because now salvation has come. Now they don't lose their lives unto death. But it says what? It says, and yet a little season until their fellow servants also and their brethren should be killed, as they were should be fulfilled. Verse 12.
And I beheld when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood.
Go ahead.
And the stars of heaven fell into the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs, when she is shaken of a mighty wind.
Keep reading.
And the heaven departed as it rolled, when it rolled together, and every mountain and island rolled out of their places.
Go ahead.
And the king of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, every bondman, and every free man, hid themselves in the dens as in the rock of the mountains.
Now they got Jesus appearing in the sky. You know, because that's why I said that what? It says the heavens gonna roll departed as a scroll when it is rolled together. Now why is everybody hiding? They hiding from the wrath of the Lamb. You know what I mean? Because now he's standing in the sky, and what he's doing is he dropping destruction.
Right.
Alright? So we see is that what? It says that every free man hid themselves in the dens of the rocks and the mountains. And what it said in 16?
And said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us, and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb.
Go ahead, verse
For the
7.
great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand?
And who shall be able to stand? So now, when we go from going to the sixth seal, we see is that now, after the tribulation is over, you know, we going into the sixth seal, and we seeing is that, you know, the Lord is getting ready to drop his destruction.
Right.
But from the 2,300 days, it's counting down from 2,300, 1,000 days, and 10 is how long they're going to be sacrificing animals.
Right.
But this first day of the sacrifice is when countdown begins.
Right.
At 1290 is when the abomination of desolation gonna stop the daily sacrifice.
Right.
From that point, you can flee before that, but if you do wait, you got 30 days.
Right.
30 days. So once 30 days is hit, you go to 1260. Now at 1260, it's too late if you ain't got out of Dodge.
Right, right.
You know what I mean? Because now he gonna be ruling and reigning for 3.5 years. So once the 3.5 years is expired, we at 0. Now, you know, we at the door of the coming of the Lord. So that's your 29 days.
Okay, right.
Now the reason why, you know, at 1335 ain't thrown in there, because it's still kind of speculation. Because when I was here,
Right.
like I was dealing with it in my mind as I was trying to explain it, and I was just saying some stuff, and I didn't get it. If we gonna say these numbers pertaining to the 1335, I didn't get it.
Right, right.
So I ain't even gonna touch on that 1335
Right,
because the 1335 is not even inside of the 2,300 days.
Right.
You know what I mean? So what I was saying, man, when I come back, I'm just gonna deal with Brother Vince about the 2,300 days, and that's that.
Right.
And that right there.
And that makes sense when you
Yeah.
That makes
Yeah,
sense.
so
Perfect
that's-
sense.
So that's that, man. So
that kind of opened my eyes a little bit too. Because I was wondering, you know, me and you had that same concept in mind, like,
Right.
okay, 1335 now, you know what I mean?
Right,
So,
right.
Yeah, you know, and I was trying, you know, so that makes sense the way you got to explain it right there. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah, so that's what I studied, man. Before I left, I was like, man, nah, I know it, but nah, I need to go and study and watch it.
Right on.
So I did that.
So I appreciate that,
You
brother.
and myself.
You never do enough for that.
Well, that's good too. Cause I got some more understanding too, a better understanding of myself.
Praise the Lord.
Right.
Praise the Lord. So
That's what's up.
and it's showing good on the video.
Yes, sir. That's what's up.
So whoever tuning in, you know,
That's extra. So now,
go ahead.
okay, well, I had it on mind earlier when we were talking. Now I got to get it right again. Okay, so God, I had that question I can't think of it right now. I just took it blank. Now, it was in my head when you was explaining it to me, and I had a question in my mind, but now I can't think of it right now. Okay, some people get caught up in that. Like I say, that tribulation. That's got to happen. So he said some gonna lose their lives for the word of testimony.
Yep.
So some people got to be called up. Cause that's prophecy.
That's prophecy.
Right.
Yep. Because I know that, right?
Yeah.
Let's go into that. Let's go into Revelation chapter 7. Revelation chapter 7. And you gotta realize, like, you know, even when you look at the 144,000, that's 12,000 out of each tribe.
That's right.
Alright? So they gonna be sealed.
Yeah.
They gonna be in the tribulation, they gonna be sealed, like, ain't nothing gonna happen to them, they gonna be sealed, they gonna make it out of great tribulation.
Right.
But it's also gonna be another multitude that's gonna make it out with them.
Right.
So what is, no, I ain't mean to come out. I mean to go Revelation 13.
Okay.
This is what I meant to do.
Okay.
Revelation 13, and let's pick it up at verse 1.
Okay. And I stood upon the sand of the sea, and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his head the name of blasphemy.
Go ahead.
And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion.
We talking about Rome. You know what I mean? We talking about, because now we're looking at all these different animals, and we can go back to Daniel chapter 7. We can see is that each animal represents an empire. You know what I mean? So now they all came together, because now the fourth and final beast is Rome.
Right.
All right. So that's why it says what in verse 2 it says, and the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear. So now you know talking about the leopard. I think that's Greece. And he talking about the bear. I think that's the Persian Empire. So they all mixed in together now.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it says, and the mouth was as the mouth of a lion, and the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority. What does it say in verse 3 though?
And I saw one of his heads as he was wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast.
Go ahead.
And they worshipped the dragon which gave power to the beast, and they worshipped the beast, saying, Who is like unto the beast? Who was able to make war with him?
So who was able to make war with the beast? You know what I mean? Because at this time, the beast's going to be ruling.
Right.
All right. But what does it say in verse 5 though?
And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and power was given unto him to continue 42 months.
So that's 3.5 years. All right. But what does it say in verse 6?
And he opened his mouth and blasphemed against God, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle and them that dwell in heaven.
So everything that's in heaven, everything that's associated with God, he blasphemed, right? But what's it in verse 7 though?
And it was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them.
Yeah.
And power was given to him over all kindreds and tongues and nations.
So it says what? He made war with the saints and to overcome them. And power was given over all kindred tongues and nations. Go ahead.
And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world.
Let's go back to this Daniel chapter 11.
Right.
Daniel chapter 11. And now let's look on. Daniel chapter 11. And let's pick it back up at. Pick it back up at 13. I mean 33.
33?
Yeah,
Okay.
32.
32?
Yeah.
And such as do wickedly against the covenant shall he corrupt by flatteries.
Go ahead.
But the people that do know their God shall be strong and do exploits.
So they're going to be calling them out, right? But what it says in verse 33?
And they that understand among the people shall instruct many. Yet they shall fall by sword and by flame, by captivity and by spoil many days.
That's what he was talking about, how the scriptures got to be fulfilled.
Right.
Some got to be killed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So those that are going to be back, they're going to be leading those, instructing them, you know what I mean, calling out Pope. But guess what? They're going to be calling them out, but they're going to be getting killed as well.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it says what?
Yes, sir.
And it says, and they that understand among the people shall instruct many. Yet they shall fall by the sword and by flame and by captivity and by spoil many days. What's it in 34?
Now when they shall fall, they shall be hoping with a little help.
Go ahead.
But many shall cleave to them with flattery.
So many going to cleave to them with flattery, ones that are going to instruct the people, right?
Right.
Verse 35.
And some of them understanding shall fall, to try them and to purge.
See? You see that? Like, that's according to the script. Some are going to fall to try the other.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
shoot, Lord, I pray it don't be the case, but I get caught in great tribulation. You get caught in it.
Right.
We serving God. They cut my head off. They
Right.
ask you, hey, bro, you still want to serve God?
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's what he
Right.
mean when he say he going to try others. He going to have some to fall to try others to purge. Keep going, though.
And to make them white, even to the time of the end, because it is yet for a time appointed.
So it's for a time upon.
Yes, sir.
That's gonna be
It's good.
That's gonna be a scary time, man.
It is. It is.
Man, I was looking at some. It was some I was looking at. I was looking at YouTube video. I'm gonna send it to your phone too. It's a YouTube video, man. And this lady on there, she talking about how government come up with these new IDs.
Right.
And these new IDs, like, you gotta have all of the information, all your information. Social Security, birth certificate, everything, every piece of information that's able to identify you, you gotta have all that submitted to the government.
Wow.
When you get your new ID.
Wow.
This gonna take place in 2020. And when you go there to turn in your information, they gonna do a face scan. Wow. So now it's easy to find you amongst the crowd. Real easy. Because they got your face. When you go to the airport now, like in most cases, you ain't even really gonna need your ID.
Right.
Because you're gonna be able to give them your social. They already gonna have that in the system.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So now when they pull that up, they gonna be able to face scan you and it's gonna match up with the face that they got in the computer system.
Right.
You ain't never committed a crime.
Right.
You ain't never got your fingerprints. Like that's my case.
Yeah.
Lord, I'm grateful. I've never been to jail a day in my life. I've been close.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking like real close.
Right,
like
right.
cuffs on my hands and they take off.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I've never been booked. I've never been handprinted. I've never been inside of a jail cell.
Right, right.
So now you mean to tell me, like, I ain't got no fingerprints nowhere.
Right.
But now you trying to put me inside of a system.
Yeah.
But that's like my license expired on the 2020.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of people, my wife's license expired on 2020.
Yeah.
So when you go in renew, they don't have all this information that you gotta have in order for you to get a new driver's
I think it's
license.
just dawned on me. We at 2018. That's talking about 2 years.
2 years from now.
Wow.
Yeah. So now even in 2030, they saying like the whole world gonna be
So this thing coming fast as we
Man,
speak.
it's bruh, it ain't too far, bruh.
So wow, like I said, it's really gonna be tested. These niggas still
It
is.
is. It is,
It's gonna
bro.
be tested.
Cause even when you look at Matthew 24, like it's gonna be times of sorrow before the great tribulation.
Right.
You know what I mean?
These
So,
are the beginning of sorrows.
yeah, so you're gonna be delivered up before the great tribulation.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? Like that's what he meant when it's gonna be times of sorrows.
Yeah.
And then he's talking about like, cause this is what's gonna occur before the great tribulation.
Like I say, we will be facing, like you say, gonna be facing people like you said, the disciples out there. I forgot which was in. They said like they go be going for counsel and all that, and kids and all that. Yeah, gonna be facing
Like
all
Paul.
that. Yeah.
Paul was like
Right.
sent up to Agrippa.
Right, Agrippa.
You know what I mean? And like
And they don't say what's gonna get out. Call the Holy Ghost to tell you what to say and all
Yep.
that stuff.
Yep.
We gonna deal with a lot of that.
Yeah.
Man,
Right.
so you got to be really into this word and into, like I say,
Yeah.
those that hate their lives shall lose it.
Yeah.
I mean, those that love their lives shall lose it. So lose their life for my name's sake shall find it.
Exactly.
So that's what it's gonna be like then.
That's what it's gonna be like. Yeah. Like you gotta lose your life for the word of God.
Man, that boy, look here, and I say all the time, and you know, like you say, the flesh is willing. I mean, the spirit. What is it? The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak.
Yeah.
And I find myself saying that thing. I mean it, and I mean it right now. I say, you know what? If I got to die for the word of God, I just got to die for the word of God.
Right.
And I say that all the time. And I'm not scared to say that, but at the same time, you say that now, but
the
why
flesh is-
like Peter?
The flesh is
The
with it.
flesh is willing, the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. Like you said, the
Yeah.
one like Peter, I'll die for you. But when the time came that he got called out, what he did, he cursed it and lied. And,
Yeah.
And then died 3 times.
Yeah. The flesh is weak, man. Man, like
Boy, look at him.
man. That's what I'm saying. So that's why I don't ever like I just be saying I don't know.
Right.
Cause I don't want the Lord to try me.
Right.
You know what I mean? I say you're gonna do this. Well, let me put them to the test.
Right.
Even though we all gonna put to the test,
Right.
but to just flat out say, nah, that's too brazen, that's too bold.
Right.
Cause like the God we serve, he'll call you out. He'll be
He'll
like,
will,
oh yeah.
sure will.
He'll be like, oh yeah, okay, all right. You say you gonna do this? All right. Like you just said, perfect example.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Peter.
And I think about it all the time. I say, oh Lord. I say maybe I should have said that. They'd be like, well, I can't take it back now. But you know what I mean? Cause I be just as serious about it. You know, and I be really feeling it in my heart. I'm like, you know what, man? I'm in it. I'm not turning back.
Right.
That's just it.
Right.
And like I was telling earlier about, we still on camera?
Here we are.
Okay.
It's all good.
But like I was saying about to my wife, I tell all the time. I say, listen, don't make me make a choice. I love you true enough. Don't get me wrong, but don't let me make a choice. But it got to come between you and God. And that's really like it seems like it's coming to now. You know, and it might not be the case, but it seems like I feel like that is the case right now. That like, they really got to come down to me making a choice.
Yeah.
Like we were talking earlier. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta choose, man, and you definitely want to choose God, man,
Right,
because
right.
like
Because if I choose God to keep commandments, then He worked that out behind
He
the scenes.
will. He'll definitely.
He worked that out behind the scenes.
Yeah, like he'll work it all out. Man.
Right.
Like you know what I mean, putting your wife in order.
Right.
You know, like her coming and dealing with the word. Like he just gotta be patient with the situation.
Yeah, that's
I don't seen it.
Right.
Like I got a testimony about it. I don't seen it. It's a teacher. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like I seen his wife coming to the word. Now she's strong in the word.
Wow, that's beautiful.
You know what I mean?
That is beautiful.
Cause like at first, man, she wasn't trying to deal with this.
Mm-hmm.
Now she been in the word, a little less than he had,
That's awesome.
and been like strong.
Right.
So it can be done.
It can be done.
You know what I mean? You just gotta believe.
I gotta believe it
Yeah,
and be patient as well.
And take it to the Lord. Check
Right.
this out, man.
Right.
Check out this parable, man.
And I love this, man. Like I said, man, you can go all day, 24 hours and non-stop. This,
Yeah,
I
that's
love
why
this right
I
here.
told them to be.
I
I was
love
like,
this,
we gotta go, bro.
I love this, man.
That's why I was telling him, saying, hey, bro, we gotta get back, bro. He know. He know I just sit here
And man, you connect, man, cause
just be going.
it's our passion, man.
Right,
Serious,
just,
man.
and just be going. But check out this parable, man, about Jesus, right?
Right.
I gotta find it. I don't know it off the top of my head. I think it's in John, but you know about I'm gonna tell you right now about it's John chapter. Hold on. Yup, done. There we go. This is how you gotta be, man. John. No, it's Luke. I thought it was John. Luke 18.
Okay, Luke 18.
Mhm.
Okay.
Luke 18 and verse 1.
Okay.
If you want to read, you
I'll
read,
read.
or I'll read.
I'll read.
Okay, go ahead.
And he spake a parable unto them to this end, that men are always to pray and not to faint.
So understand, man, it's like that's your faith.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So like you gotta always pray and not faint. Meaning like don't stop. You know what I mean? That's why I think Paul was saying like pray without ceasing.
Yes,
You know what I mean? That's like always praying, right?
Right.
What is it in verse 2?
Saying, there was in a city a judge, which feared not God, neither regarded man.
So he didn't fear God, nor did he have regard for men. This is a judge, right? Verse 3.
And there was a widow in that city, and she came unto him, saying, avenge me of mine adversary.
Go ahead.
And he would not for a while, but afterward he said within himself, though I fear not God, nor regard man, yet because the widow troubles me, I will avenge her, lest by her continual coming she weary me.
You see that? So it's kind of like
Yeah.
it's like shoot, she begged him, man, like avenge me of my adversary, avenge me of my adversary. But he like, man, look here, I don't fear God, nor do I regard man. But this woman, she is bugging the heck out of me.
Right, right.
You know what I mean? So you know what? I'ma avenge her adversary. What it say in verse 6 though?
And the Lord said, hear what the unjust judge said.
Go ahead.
And shall not God avenge his own elect,
You see that? Like
Yeah.
God gonna avenge his own elect.
Right.
Keep on though.
which cry day and night unto him, though he bear along with them?
Exactly. Keep reading.
Yes. I tell you that he will avenge them speedily. Nevertheless, when the Son of Man cometh, shall he find faith on the earth?
You see that?
Yeah.
So you got to realize, like, Jesus got to hurry up come. That's
Right.
why it was a question mark at the end of that. Because if you don't return soon, like, it ain't going to be no faith on the
Right.
earth. But at the same time, we see is that, like, what? He opened it up with pray. He said, always to pray, faint not.
Right.
You know what I mean? So in other words, man, I always take this to the Lord,
Oh
man.
my God.
Like, don't even slack on it.
I do it all the time.
You know, exactly. Like,
Oh my God.
cause man, you don't know the Lord, like, she got a stronghold.
Every chance I get, man, I'm like, Lord, please. You know what I mean?
Right.
If the adversary try to make her do something stupid or, wicked or unbecoming of a wife, you intervene.
Right.
You know, I pray this. Oh my God, you just have no idea. I pray this constantly. Sometimes I pray aloud, sometimes I pray it by mind. But at the same time, I'm constantly doing like they did the judge. I'm constantly saying over and over again in my mind.
Right. And just stand on your square.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, as you continue to build with knowledge, you'll understand how to deal with situations.
Right.
You know what I mean? As you better it, because what comes with, let's go into this Peter real quick.
Right.
When you're looking at people, you gotta understand is that, everybody in our position.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, but guess what? We used to be just like them.
Just be you right now.
You know what I mean? So even, there's a remedy for that. And the remedy is over here in 2 Peter. Yep, 2 Peter chapter 1. Is it? I think it's 1 Peter. Cherry, he shall give account, the longer shall rest on his flesh. And where is it? I know it's in Peter. Lord gracious. Hold on. I thought that was it. I know that's it though. There we go. Second Peter. It is. Second Peter. I thought it was in First Peter. Second Peter chapter 2. I'm looking right at it. Second Peter chapter 1, verse 6. But
Okay.
let's start at verse 1.
Okay.
Because understanding is that, like, I mean, this is something that is not an overnight process.
Right, right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's a process that takes patience.
Yeah. God
And
knows
he,
it does.
right, and even dealing with people, you know what I mean? Because we got to look at the situation as if like how the Lord said you got to be like these babies,
Right.
like these little ones,
Right.
you know what I mean? Because like my son, like man, I just whooped this little behind, like what was this? Either Wednesday or Thursday, I whooped this little butt. You know what I mean? Cried, and after that, I came and sat on the couch. He was on the other couch crying. That boy came and sat on the other couch and climbed right up on me.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, you love your daddy? It's like, I love you, daddy. You know what I mean? He ain't sitting there holding no
Right,
grudge.
right.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, that's how we got to be, not so much as holding a grudge, but just being patient with people
Right.
because we wasn't always like how we are now.
Right.
You know what I mean? We was once used to be like them, and guess what? We one step away from being like them.
Right.
now.
Again, you
You
ain't
know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
So it's always a constant battle. So even when you look at this Peter, 2 Peter chapter 1, when you get it, you can go ahead and read it.
Yes, sir. A Simon Peter, a servant and an apostle of Jesus Christ, to them that have obtained like precious faith with us the righteousness of God and our Savior Jesus Christ.
Go ahead.
Grace and peace be multiplied to you through the knowledge of God and of Jesus our Lord,
Verse 3.
according as his divine power hath given unto us all things that pertain unto life and godliness, through the knowledge of him that hath called us to a glory and virtue.
So this is how we was called to the glory and virtue through the knowledge of Jesus. You know what I mean? Because, you know, like, without Jesus, man, we ain't got no glory or no virtue.
Nothing.
We ain't got no salvation, any of that.
Nothing.
So now, you know, through the knowledge of him, this is what we have, glory and virtue. But what is that in verse 4?
Whereby are given unto us exceeding great and precious promises,
Go ahead.
that by these ye might be partakers of the divine nature.
You see that? The partakers of the divine nature. That's
Mhm.
what? Looking at to become sons of God.
Right.
You know what I mean? That we continue to keep this thing going all the way into the end. That's the, you know, promise that we have. We fight to the end. So it says that by these ye might be partakers of the divine nature. Go ahead.
Having escaped the corruption that is in the world through lust.
Go ahead.
And beside this, giving all diligence, add to your faith virtue,
Go ahead.
and to virtue knowledge.
So now we're looking at how our character is supposed to get. You know what I mean? So, you know, at a point of time in our life as we continue to walk with God, you know, we're going to continue to keep striving to, you know, deal with the word, keep dealing with the word. But then it says what? Giving diligence and adding to your faith virtue, and to virtue knowledge. Go ahead.
And to knowledge temperance.
So now you got this knowledge on how to, you know, on the word. Now it has taught you how to be patient, or I'm sorry, how to be temperament with people. You know, when they come at you, you're going to lash back at them. You know what I mean? Because now you got this knowledge and it has taught you temperance. What else taught you?
And temperance, patience.
So now you got patience with people. Now through your temperament, now you can calm yourself at the drop of a dime. Now it has taught you how to be patient.
Right.
Okay, now I'm temperament. Now I can be patient. You know what I mean? Now I can wait on the situation.
Right.
Because now, you know, whatever she said, whatever he said, it can't flare me off to get in the temper, because now I can sit here and be temperate and be patient. And at the same time, keep my faith in God.
And that's what I'm going through now, because I think every time I feel that test, it's going to keep occurring until I, you know what I'm saying?
Until you beat the test.
Right, right.
So now when you beat the test,
Right.
you like, all right, then.
Yeah.
And even me, it ain't just you, me too. You know, I've been married now, this should be 6 years. You know what I mean? I've been married before,
Right.
but when I was married before, I wasn't the person I am right now.
Right.
You know what I mean? So now, like, cause my previous marriage, like, I ain't have too much temper.
Right.
I ain't have much patience.
Mhm.
I'd be like, hey, you tripping? Like, I'm
Right.
going out.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Just try and smother that with like either drinking or smoking some weed.
Right.
Like, I'm going out. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
But now, like, I'm understanding how to deal with it, because my wife now is way at this level than my previous wife.
Right.
So now I gotta be temperate with her and also be patient. And by me being patient, she come around a great deal. You know what I mean? Because I mean, she's dealing with words.
Right.
But at the same time, like, we still on head.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it's still a learning curve for me,
Right.
not
Right.
just you.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? So it's like to knowledge temperance and to temperate patience.
And to patience, godliness.
Exactly. So now, you know, when you don't perfect the patience, now you got godliness.
Right.
Because now when you look at Jesus,
Yeah.
you see Jesus, he got a little weary with the disciples when they couldn't heal the young boy. He was like,
Kind of a little frustrated out of it.
He slapped them.
You're right.
He was like, perverse and adulterous generation. You know what I mean? How long shall I be with you?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so he kind of snapped. You know what I mean? But at the same time, when you look at his overall character and how he was, like, man, he was washing these boys' feet. You know what I mean?
Right.
He told Peter's like, nah, he don't wash my feet. He was like, all right, well, if I don't wash your feet, then you gonna turn away.
Right.
In other words, like, if you can't suffer yourself to be that humble,
Right.
you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you washing another grown man's feet. That's something.
That is.
It truly is. But guess what? If you get to that level, you profess godliness.
Right.
That's what it says right here.
Right.
It says patience, and to patience, godliness, and what else?
And to godliness, brotherly kindness.
Go ahead.
And to brotherly kindness, charity.
Exactly. Charity is the
Right.
charity is the end result of it all.
That's it.
Charity covers all of it.
All of it.
You know what I mean? So it's all a process, bro. It ain't. And not just saying it to you, to me as well. You know what I mean? Is that it's something that you just don't get overnight. It's something that you continue to stay with, though.
Right.
Because if you can continue to stay with it, then you getting better in your stride.
Man, I think, like we always say, well, God, why did you put me in this situation? Or why did you allow things to happen? Or either, Lord, I know I'm here for a purpose, but I say, well, right now it seems unbearable, but at the end, I know you get the glory out of all of this, and I'll be stronger for it.
Right.
But right now, you're going through these tribulations, like, man,
It's tough.
woo, boy, look at him.
It's tough. It ain't, man. People, you be honest.
But the end result, I'm just, just focus and see how the end will be. If like I say, if I keep my integrity and keep the faith and plus keep the commandments of God to the best of my abilities and keep on moving forward and having that faith, trust in God, we can work out the situation because He's a God of His word and He's in covenant. So we are part of a covenant.
Right.
So therefore, at the end result, I'm going to be so overwhelmed and so enjoyed. And I can actually see her, like you say, sitting among us and get this word, and see the path I took to get to the point. I'm like, oh my God, you are real.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's amazing, man.
Man.
I've been praying for a church home. You don't know how long, man. And I've always went to a place that don't, like I said, don't have Sabbath class. I was there studying online, with other people, other camps online, like Brother Boo and Brother Elijah and all the other cats. So once I finally came here, man, you just don't know how it's been a blessing to me. And how y'all stepped in and invited me in and showed love toward me and still showed love toward to me. I'm like, man, I can't mess this up.
No.
I can't. I say, God, I pray too hard for this. I cannot allow anything to come in between this.
Right.
I pray too hard for this.
You know who trying to come in between?
Right.
The enemy.
Right.
The adversary.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because he know what you got, man. That's why, like, you've been dealing with what you've been dealing with after you got baptized.
Right.
Like, you wasn't.
It was before I was baptized, but now it's like heightened. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like it don't turn up a notch.
Right.
You don't think that shoot, I'm not baptized. It's supposed to
my
go away. It's
God.
supposed to be easy. Nah, man. That's what Jesus said. If you ain't take your cross and follow me, you know what I mean? Because now, if you can take your cross and follow him, now you got.
The reason I asked you about it, teaching today, let me show you something. All these things God has given me. This is my book. I got the books for my Sabbath lessons and stuff.
Yeah.
And you just go through
I
it
was
yourself.
gonna go that too.
Go through it and stuff. See all the little things just go through yourself.
Yeah.
And I left out another book right here with all the little lessons I got. Now I just did these. I go to the other devils. I just did these. I got studied Mormonism. I got all this stuff about Mormonism, Jehovah's Witnesses, and I be studying all this stuff, man. About Seventh-day Adventists and Islam and all these titles God give me to deal with, like I did. I need to go sit on the porch, just studying, and God bring it to my mind and just do these scriptures and do these lessons. Like keep my commandments and order not a request, you know what I mean?
Right.
Stuff like that. They begin to get so much word here, man. I'm like, man, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just look at it, man. This is why I started first coming to the word. I still was kind of fresh, and you see the progress I went on. As you turn the page, you see the progress I made.
Okay.
And get baby steps. But yeah, man, I've been saying, man, It's a beautiful thing, man.
It is.
I keep on listening to every one of them. I be learning. I'm like a spoon, I'm absorb everything. When I the first part, when I was start coming into the word, I started getting like, okay, I'm understanding, but I had to understand some things, but like I said, it was a process. And then once I started learning more, you see it started changing and stuff I started doing differently. Instead of making one verse and two verses, I started making like subject matter, you know what I mean? Like we do with
That's how you
like we started
doing.
doing. It's also you have to make progress, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The more I learned, the more progress I made. I said, okay, you do things by subject and by title.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I started getting it after a while. I came a long ways, boy. Cause I caught up in the Sunday like everybody else was.
Yeah, we all work. Yep. That's crazy though. How we were just talking about. I was talking to some brother about how like we know the Lord for the return soon, because when the Lord said like, a remnant or 7,000 that never about need a bell,
Mm-hmm.
and we got that going on.
For I sure is.
Like, look at these babies.
Right.
Like my sons, like from my daughter who 5, all the way down to my twin girls, even Josh kids. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like even when you go to the church, like you got some kids, man, and not just in Atlanta, but then here too, man, that ain't never dealt with Christmas. Ain't never,
that's beautiful,
you know what I mean? But that's just like Lord when He's saying like when Elijah was like, man, you know, dog Jezebel trying to kill me, Lord,
Mm-hmm.
and shoot, the Lord was like, man, look at you, ain't the only one that's serving me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got 7,000.
No,
Never
bow
bow
the
the
bell.
bell. You know what I mean? So like even in our time,
Right.
that let you know, man, like
God, let me tell you something. Like you say, He's the same yesterday, today, and forever. He don't change the way He do things.
right,
It's on a broad scale now. He's still the same God.
right,
He still got His remnant. His word ain't gonna change. He gonna come killing like He did the first time, destroy this earth.
no,
People don't know. If they knew what He dealt with, man, they would have. If they ever had any idea what He dealing with. Then that conception that God the Father, the Old Testament, the Son, the New Testament.
mm-hmm.
They have no idea they've been dealing with the Son all along. I talked to my mom the other day. I called her my mom, but as a matter of fact, I sat down and taught her some more things, right? About, I refreshed her about the Sabbath and taught her some more things. So she trying to take heed to it, but some things that she wanted about open understanding about. I said, well, pray about it. I said, seeking Him, He gonna give you the understanding. He ain't die, because I'm a living witness.
Mm-hmm.
And she was trying to, she was going by that misconception like, oh, the law did, we ought to do the law no more. I said, Mom, stop listening to that foolishness. I see you listen to the Creflo, the TD Jakes, all them cats.
Where your mom at?
My real mama dead, but I just call her mama because, she like a mama to me.
Where she at though?
She's still over there, right back of Rains High School.
Oh, okay. Right. So she in Jackson.
Yeah, she in Jackson. Yeah. So I like I said over the other day, and I was teaching. I said, Mama, don't listen to all that foolishness. I say, Mama, the only laws on the table is the sacrificial law. The only law is abolished by Christ. And I took the Hebrews and told her the blood of bull goats, and you can't take away sins, all that stuff.
Right.
And she, like I said, I said, Mama, just pray for understanding. I see it come to you. If you desire to come to you, God will give you understanding. But she is seeking it though. You know what I'm saying? She's seeking it.
How old is she?
80. Mama 83.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
She moving around still?
Yeah, Mama get around big me. She out with me.
Oh yeah.
I said, Mama, you sure? I said, Mama, sit down and dance all around this place, man. I said, Mama, you making me tired. God, she's truly blessed. She's a right mind and just got a 16-year-old. I ain't never seen nothing like it.
Mm-hmm.
But she still says, son, I still want to learn. I want to know. I said, Mama. I know you've been snaky serving God all your life. I say it'll be a sad thing. God see it all in vain.
Mm.
I said that'll be a hard pill to swallow once you see God. He say, "Depart from me, I never knew you."
Mm.
I brought all that to her attention, right?
Right.
So I'm not trying to scare you or frighten you, mama, but it is what it is. It's true. Son, I'm just gonna go and pray and ask God to show me. I say, yeah, just pray and understand. He'll show it to you.
Did you put this God, the God here too, not 3?
Yeah. All of them lessons I did, all that.
That's how it's supposed to be done.
Mhm.
3, 7, 5.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. See, you see the progress I come along with. The more I heard, the more.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, line up on line, here a little, yeah, I see that. Oh, I had like, hey, we put that up.
Mm-hmm. So maybe I got so many, they ain't funny. And some I took, from other things I've learned, you know what I'm saying, and did it like that.
Hey, nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
That ain't our word.
No, you right about that.
There ain't nothing wrong with that.
You right about that.
Yeah, I see you don't. Yeah, I see your change.
Mm-hmm. Now I got with the Pope, the guy Rome. I got all that in there, man. I got back that. Oh man, it got so much God is showing me, and I'm like, you know what, Lord. I think because I mean, it's just so much we haven't learned and still ain't.
It is.
It's so much.
It's
man.
so much.
It's so much. Like, man, I can't believe I was so blind. I be getting mad sometimes. I'm like, you know what? You had to be the dumbest. I be so mad about stuff I can't see straight. But it's all about growth.
Now I know I was listening to y'all last set about the armies of the North.
Mm-hmm.
And I was had some more.
Yeah. But I love me and you. I would love me and you could go. I'm telling you, man. Me and you got that same desire.
Yeah.
I could do this all day.
Yeah.
Now they don't get old. They don't get tired of me. It's like, how long can you go? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't mind. I guess I'm always seeking to learn something. I'm not one of those cats that think I know everything. You can't tell me nothing.
Right.
I'm like, hey man, if you see something I don't see, like 200-300 days, I'm like, yeah. You know what I mean?
Right.
Now I understand clearly.
Praise the Lord.
Yeah. So you put that thing just right.
Praise the Lord.
That's what I'm talking about.
Praise God.
I ain't got no problem with it.
Shoot, you made me go back to the drawing lab, to the drawing board. I was like, nah, man. I was like, I need to watch this again then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then when I had went, it was a lot of stuff that I saw it was real clear to me.
Right.
Like real clear.
And we went back at scripture like, you know what, it's all lining up.
Yeah.
I say, nah, I got it. It's lining up.
Right.
It's lining up. And that's what I wanted. I wanted that lining up.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's up.
That's what I wanted. To be sense.
That's what's up. How about you stay around here, man?
Oh, about 15 minutes.
You stay over there near Josh or
No, I say
by Tony them?
toward like going over there about like this. I stay near town. It's not in town, but it's near town.
Near Jackson?
Off of Edison. Ain't too far from the station. In that area, that way. That's the east side, but I'm not too far from over there.
Okay.
It's about 15-minute drive.
That's what's up, man. You got a whole.
Yeah, I got a whole. Yeah.
You think I am? Yeah. Yeah, see on the post.
I got all that stuff, man.
Mm. Oh, you got that in too?
Oh yeah.
The feed, the Vandals, the Ocelot, yeah. Those are the 3 now plugged up. Do you realize the Ostrogoths and the Vandals?
That's them 3 wheels. Pluck.
Yep.
I got I got all that stuff in there, man. About the 10 toes and the dynasties and all that stuff. I got all that, man.
Yeah, French Empire, Ottoman, and Mongols.
I be on
10
somebody.
times. That's 10 times they rolled fair.
Mm-hmm.
But you got Mussolini, Charlemagne,
Mm-hmm.
Otto the great. The Otto was under the Otto Empire,
The
yeah.
Ottoman Empire, yeah.
Yeah. Got some good stuff here, man.
I got the all the popes and what how they the stuff for the popes, how they came in office and how they did. I got all that stuff in there, man. My Roman Catholic Church, all that stuff I got more books with Saturnalia. Like it's called the Christmas called Saturnalia. Some people it's Saturnalia.
Oh, okay.
It's called Yule.
Yeah, that was in Memphis.
Mythology, God, all that. I got all that, man. I gotta cover a lot of ground. I got a Constantine and the Council of Nicaea. When they when all that, when they just removed the Sabbath and 321 AD and all that, got all that.
Yeah.
And you just go all you'll see it in there. Once you go turn something, just it's all in there. I cover all that in there. It's in that book. You just gotta turn to it. And I hear that everywhere I go, in case I do find somebody, I can, I can to pick up my tent. Cause like I said, I'm like you, I gotta have my books with me. I can't call them out like that. No, with my book, my tent. I know I got it here.
Yep. Yep.
Shoot.
General Revelations.
I got the Black History told by the prophet, the slavery, all that stuff in there. I'm like a sponge and I absorb everything I can. And I write it down, and put in my notes and then I go back over it and whatever God put in my mind to do, I do it. And keep them in my tablet. And in case the time do come, I got all that right there, you know what I'm saying? I'm just being patient, I ain't no hurry, but I was just like I said, I would be interested in teaching some, you know what I mean? But like I said, I ain't got to, you ain't got to make no special, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I was looking at
Because there's some things I'm learning as well. Yeah.
30 years old.
My wife's like, you don't be in church. I said, man, we be in church all that. I keep telling you, man, I ain't doing nothing, man. See all certain posts and all that, man. We hear the speech of the Pope and all that. See, I got all that stuff down there. And I gotta be covering all that stuff. And the Roman Catholic Church is the most wicked and the murderous church there is.
Yeah. Quiet kept.
Yeah. I see all these questions that everybody have. Are you saved and born again? I got scripture to cover that. Is Trinity doctrine true? I got, scripture to cover that. Where we go when we die? I scripture to cover that. And all that. Because there's a lot of people, they keep on the false doctrine.
Yeah.
I got everything covered, all that. We keep the Sabbath and all that. Is the dietary law still in effect? Got the Christmas for all that. So yeah, whatever you want to cover. I got all these most common questions and common deception that people have in Sunday church. Know what I'm saying? Are y'all talking about we born again?
Yeah.
No, you're not.
Nah, you're not.
Are you saved and born again? I got scripture to cover all that.
True.
Yeah, no, yeah. So you know what I'm saying? I got all grounds covered. Just in case I don't to that point, I go to scripture. You know what I'm saying?
You shooting with a 50 cap.
Right.
30 years old, even till 50 years old. All that intent is to be the work of the tabernacle.
What do you got going on?
You do?
No, I was like you.
Nah, we
You
don't.
read something.
I'm looking at something about age. Isn't that 8.5? And from the age of 50 years, they should cease waiting upon the service thereof and shall serve no more.
See that?
Levi.
Chain of the Sabbath and the Harris feet like that and all that. All that.
Okay.
Yeah, I got all that. Yeah, on man.
So how long you been on with the word?
About, let's see, about 3 years.
Okay.
About 3 years. Yep. And like I say, man, it's been constant studying, constant, online, constantly with Brother Boy, with y'all, with, you know what I mean? All of that, man. And I'm going to go roll it to my, you in that Bible. I say, man, what is there? What else is there? You know what I mean? I got to study to show myself approved. And I do that. I'm constantly, I'm like you, man. I'm constantly, every chance I get, man, trying to get that knowledge.
Yeah. Yup.
And I be wanting to teach it and show people the truth.
Right.
I ain't no hurry. Like I say, I don't know how y'all do things, but I say I'm gonna bring it up. I gonna mention, hey, how y'all go by, how y'all protocol kind of like teaching who wanna teach and all
I
that.
holler out for you this week. I holler out.
Hmm?
I holler at Brother Lodge for you this week. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I holler out for you.
You say, y'all trying to get somebody in this Jacksonville area, you know what I mean? And once I learn more and more, I said, ain't no getting gotta be nothing so quick, because I said, I'm still learning everything myself. In time, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I ain't trying to get up in no hurry, but I'll let you know, hey, so I can bring something to the table too as well, along with the other brothers, you know what I'm saying?
Man, you already bringing something to the table. Whether you know or not.
Okay.
But that's what we done anyways. You was born into this, remember?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You was born into the priesthood.
Right.
So now, understanding our role, our position,
Yes, sir.
it's like, now we got on, now we supposed to fulfill our covenant that our forefathers made with God.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So,
And it's amazing. And the mother brothers, I was on the porch, and that really took me off. I seen online the way they preach hate message, right? And and God put on my mind to do a lesson. It's called What Advantage in Israel? For God has respect of persons. That I mean, I did that right on the porch.
right.
Okay, what make you so special? I think you should be embarrassed. The way we've been cutting up and still cutting up. That's why we're in the position we in now. You ain't got no reason being puffed up. You know what I mean? And hating other people because you know Israel.
Straight true.
I said, what happened to us in the first time? All of us got destroyed except Caleb Joshua did everybody over 20.
Yep. Where Julie's at, man?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't know he was still here.
Huh?
Yeah, I didn't know he was there.
Oh, he got that camera, man.
Yeah,
He
sure.
take a picture.
Yeah. So we got to tighten up, man.
Yeah. Shoot. Me and you, we be chopping on the phone.
I ain't lying. Yeah, man, I'm serious, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy, look at him. Me and you, boy, look at him. You just don't know. I will call you back, but like I say, I'm dealing so much that I think my wife is trying to be. She was like, I don't know. I be doing so much, man.
Cause I'll get you back, but I was busy myself.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like just really running with that truck and
Right.
and just,
Mm-hmm.
being tired of heck when I got off from work.
Yeah. But I knew you we gonna get a chance to do it already.
Yeah.
No one knew. I said, oh, you gonna hit that 300 days.
Yep.
Yo.
I had went and studied in on some more.
Right.
I was like, I ain't gonna leave them hanging.
Right.
I even had some stuff for Claire, but they went on.
Oh, yeah.
Cause she asked that question about how many kings was it?
Yeah.
I went in on that stuff.
I know that.
It was a lot of us though.
It was a lot of
Man, it was a lot of kings, bro.
That's all.
Man, let me show you real quick.
Yeah.
We chopped up.
Somebody smiling, they going on. He's smiling too hard, boy. What's going on?
You got it? Oh, man. Oh, man, I'm just joking.
He came back cheesing.